And back with another episode of Football Thursday here on my show. That's right, you're on the right channel because obviously you're not on the wrong channel because why would you be on this video? Don't know why I'm even saying this, but yeah, welcome back and whoop, there we go. Top 15, and this is gonna be the last rankings before the conference championship. Wow, right before the conference championship. I mean, that is insane in my opinion. Conference championship season went by like that. Another great year of college football in the books. About to market conference championships Friday, Saturday. Boom. National TV. And this is going to be pretty good. Again, not much has changed here except the Alabama loss from last week at the Iron Bowl. And we got that. And we had Wisconsin beating Minnesota, and we had Ohio State stomping on the Wolverines. And honestly, not too much left to say because, a lot of teams don't have games up this week if you're not in a conference championship. But, what's really funny is the conference championship for Memphis, the Memphis Tigers, and the Cincinnati Bearcats is they just played last week in a last game of the season, and they just ended up also earning a spot because they're in two separate divisions of their conference. They end up having to play each other again this week, and that's really hilarious because Memphis is coming in as a one-loss team, and Cincinnati's coming in as a two-loss team, 1-2 Memphis and 1-2 Ohio State, which is nothing to be ashamed about if you're a non-Power 5. Which is I find hilarious because what if Memphis actually wins against Cincinnati twice? What does that say about Memphis there? And again, screw you teams who beat Memphis. This could have really made some interesting conversation considering that we're already having a wild debate. The committee is having a wild debate between 4, 5, and 6 at this moment. And conference championships will be played, but again, Joel Klatt said it, and I'm going to say it. This is why we should not expand the college football playoff because we're already at the 4th spot, and we're arguing flawed resume. Well, Utah hasn't beat a top 25 team, and Oklahoma has a stronger resume, but Oklahoma also has a weaker defense, and, we're already talking about such flawed teams. Alabama doesn't have Tua. Georgia, they played Notre Dame close, but how good is Notre Dame really? That's another question, and Georgia was at home, and Georgia hasn't really been tested too much except for the Florida game, I believe, and Florida kind of blew that comeback at the end, so we don't know how good actually they are. Clemson, again, even though they're undefeated, one loss, and they would be very much in a hot seat right now. And yeah, we're arguing, again, Oregon, one loss in the conference, one loss to Auburn early. Again, we're getting to flawed. Baylor blew a 28-3 lead. Insert Atlanta Falcons meme right here. At home in Waco versus the Sooners. Again, we're arguing such flawed resumes and stuff here, and flawed teams here already at the third, 4th spot. What are we going to do? Expand that? Because now, let's just say we expand to 8. Now, who's to say that Penn State doesn't deserve to get in over Florida or Baylor? Who's to say Alabama still doesn't deserve a shot at it, or Auburn, or hell, even Oregon, or Wisconsin? I mean, see, now you're opening the debate all the way up to 13, maybe even 15 for Minnesota, 14 Notre Dame, 16 Michigan. You see, you're opening up way too many teams to argue for with an 8-team playoff because look, at this moment it's 6 teams. That's 6 teams right now. If it was 8 teams today, we would be arguing between Penn State, does Alabama still deserve a shot? Auburn, Oregon, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Minnesota. That's already more than double because double's 12, and we'd be arguing for 13, 14, 15 different teams already. So we've already more than doubled the teams in argument for 8 spots from the 4 spots. We've already doubled because of allowing more and more flawed teams to get voted in, allows more and more flawed resumes to look slightly better and slightly better in the eyes of the committee. And considering that committee members, because they have ties to the conferences like the Pac-12, they have the commissioner of the Pac-12, athletic directors of teams and whatnot, and they have to take themselves out of the conversation. So you're asking for so much trouble expanding the playoff, and it's allowing Oregon or Baylor, you're allowing Baylor to blow a 28-3 lead at home in Waco, Texas, to still skate into the playoff. You're allowing Alabama, who didn't schedule anyone tough, to maybe skate into the playoff. You're allowing Florida, who blew every big game they had this year, pretty much, to skate into the playoff. So, you see? And then for the most part, they're not better. They're not going to beat Ohio State, LSU, Clemson in the first place. So what's the point? All right, you know what? Yeah, that's it. Done right there. Switching to games to watch. Conference championships, main Power 5 ones. Of 3 I've chosen have the biggest implications for the playoffs. The Pac-12, because Oregon wins, Utah's automatically out. Utah wins, they have a good shot of getting in. And then LSU, Georgia. If Georgia pulls the upset, Georgia probably gets in and LSU stays in, and so that's a huge implication there. And then Oklahoma, Baylor. Oklahoma, if they're one loss, they can get in with that champ. But Baylor also too, because we all remember last year Oklahoma got in over Ohio State. Why? Because Oklahoma beat everyone on their schedule because they got the rematch against the team they lost with in Texas in the conference championship. So Baylor would be able to redeem that loss versus Oklahoma and in the conference championship and say we beat everyone on our schedule. So they're not undefeated, but they would have beat everyone on their schedule, and that's the second best thing, in my opinion. So there's that. That is games to watch. Let's take a look at the NFL. Yikes. Well, so, funny thing here, I was talking about the AFC East in the last episode. Guess what? The AFC East is so weak that the second place team in the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills, if they win out, they get to be the first seed in the AFC because they still have a game versus the Patriots and the Ravens. So if they win out, they still get to be the first seed in the whole conference. Wow, such a weak conference right there, folks. Such a weak division right there. AFC East, man, what are we, 12 games into the season, 13 weeks, 14, and there's 2 teams in the AFC East that have a shot at the first seed? That doesn't sound like a weak division to me. That sounds like the Miami Dolphins beating the Eagles. Ha! Yeah, that's right. So now the Dolphins got their first win versus the NFC, and they still play one more NFC East team. So they have a shot to go 2-2 versus it, which means the AFC East has just totally obliterated the NFC East. Not even close here, folks. But again, I went on that tangent last week. I just like rubbing it in people's faces. And this is the first time I've had to move the Patriots, though, from the 1 seed to the 2 seed because of that loss in Baltimore. So really, if you're a Patriots fan, which I am, you're rooting for Josh Allen and John Brown and Cole Beasley and Devin Singletary to just win one at home against the Ravens so you can reclaim that first seed, because I was really hoping the Niners were going to do it. I was really hoping the Niners were going to do it for us, so I didn't have to root for the Bills, but we got to root for the Bills here and then do our work versus the Bills and Chiefs. Man, talking about a rough last few games for the Patriots, Texans, Chiefs, and then the Bills games, and I think they have a Dolphins game, but hey, Dolphins are playing really good right now too with Ryan Fitzmagic. So without that, let's just go on to the Pigskin Pick'em for the week. I got 9 correct. That's right. Started off very hot, and I mean very hot. Last week I picked the first 3 games right, the Thanksgiving game, so I'm 3-0 on Thanksgiving. And I was 3-0 with leftovers, too. And then, missed one here with the Bengals Jets. But then I got 3 in a row right again. Steelers, Packers, Titans. Then I had a whole lot of wrong. And I was very close with some of them. I don't know what happened with the Panthers and the Redskins there. Eagles, overrated. But I did not expect you to lose to the Dolphins. Bucks and Jags, they finally put Minshew in. They started scoring with Minshew. Again, Foles is an Eagles quarterback. He's literally can only play for the Eagles. It didn't work with the Rams, or I think it was the Rams that he played for besides the Eagles. It just didn't work. So, you just gotta do that. Niners Ravens, very close game. I was happy when it was tied 17-all, and then 2017. Dang it. I did get the Rams over the Cardinals that day. Chargers again decided to be a bad team this year. Chiefs Raiders got that right away. Patriots Texans, fourth quarter comeback, almost made it, but close but no cigar. Texans with the win, and I got Seahawks at home over the Vikings, and that interception that Wilson threw probably cost me fantasy that week, but it's okay. I'm already a lock in my main league to win that division not kind of a lock. I just have to win this week, or if I lose, I have to have more points scored or less points again. I can't remember what the tiebreaker is from the other guy in my division who's behind me, who I beat twice, by the way. So, yeah, no harm, no foul right there, as long as I get that bye week. But that was last week. Let's move on to this week. This week, it is awesome. All right, so Bears Cowboys, the Thanksgiving Thursday. So the two teams who played on Thanksgiving. Hey, that's actually, you know what? This is probably going to be a good game, folks. Both these teams played on Thanksgiving, not Sunday, which means they had a whole week. So it's basically a regular Sunday game for them. Their week just got messed up. But hey, finally, both teams, they got a whole week, no 4-day here or 11-day here. Perfect. Not my personal preference. I prefer them each to have a bye before the Thursday game. But hey, this is something, and I'm going to go with Windy City, Chicago. Falcons, Panthers. What has happened to the Panthers, folks? I have no idea. Their red zone all of their zones have been awful, and the Falcons have generally been better since they traded Mohamed Sanu to the Patriots, and the Patriots' offenses looked worse. So I don't know if it's the curse of Sanu or what. So I'm gonna roll with the Falcons and the curse of Sanu, and yeah. This one is a biased one here, but I'm rolling with the Bills at home versus the Ravens. Both are very good teams. Both have very good defenses, good run teams, athletic quarterbacks that find ways to get it in the end zone. I'm gonna roll with the Bills. I got the Bills by 3. Again, slight AFC East bias there because I really want the Bills to win this game. I need the Bills to win this game if I want to see Tom Brady hold the 7th Lombardi. Next up, it is the Browns and the Bengals, the battle of Paul Brown, the legend himself, and I got the Dog Pound winning this game at home. Next up, Broncos, Texans, and the Broncos are finally starting Drew Lock, and they don't look half bad. Courtland Sutton caught me a couple of TDs. Let's see if he can get more TDs, but I'm going to roll with the Texans here. Lions, Vikings, I expect this to be a decent game, but I'm going to roll with the Minnesota Vikings here who don't want to lose that wild card spot. Luckily, they had a lot of room to breathe, though, because they ran over their schedule fairly well for the most part of the year to have a steady lead for that guaranteed wild card. I mean, I have not changed a team at all. Redskins, Packers in Green Bay, gonna roll with Rodgers and giving me that discount double check. Colts, Bucks, I'm gonna roll with the Colts. The Bucks are probably the worst 5-win team I've seen in NFL history. By far, they could be a 2-win team. Like, not even joking. Jets, Dolphins. It's in New York. Come on, Jets. Just, win one for the ghost boy, Sam Darnold. Niners, Saints. This one's a toss-up here. The pick-em percentage, off in my opinion. But I'm going to roll off the Saints at home. Chargers, Jaguars. I think the Chargers are just too talented to lose this game. Jaguars on a losing streak. Sure, Minshew's back, but who knows? Oh, boy. We got Titans, Raiders. Both teams looking all right. Titans looking like an even better team, though, with Tannehill at quarterback than Mariota. And I'm going to roll with the hot hand, though, the Tennessee Titans. Next up is the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're going all the way to New England. But last year's AFC Championship potential playoff matchup this year. It is Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. And I got New England winning at home versus the Kansas City Chiefs, who are finally healthy for the most part. Got the Patriots winning at home. They click it together in December. Next up, it is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals can win this game. The pick'em is fairly flawed here because the Cardinals have given the Niners 2 close games. So I think the Cardinals have a shot in every game with Kyler Murray, just like the Lions have a shot in every game. But I'm going to roll with the Steelers here. They're more desperate for the playoff spot. The Cardinals may just want to beef up their line and tank a little. They tried, but now they're going to tank a little. Next up, Seahawks-Rams, NFC West matchup here, and I'm going to roll with Russell Wilson and the Seahawks to defeat the LA Rams and send them crying back to St. Louis. And then next up is the battle of the NFC least. New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And do you really care? I don't. But I got Philadelphia 35, Giants 24. And that's going to end this episode here. Short episode. But recording this at a different time of day than I'm used to. And that's going to be it. Good night. Goodbye. Good morning. See you later.